It's me again. You know what? I'm coming on here again. For those of you that don't know, my friend's brother created a YouTube channel for me. His name's Brent. You know what? Thanks again, Brent. I don't know if you watch once in a while, but it's been a therapeutic thing for me. I just want to say something tonight. I made some tea. I've kind of had a different feeling today, being that no excuses or anything, but when you get to be about 66 years old, you get these feelings that you don't even know you're going to get. Now, they're not like imaginations. Though imaginations would be great. Unfortunately, these are real moments in your life that you rehearse and go over. And it's like shadow dancing. You want to punch somebody, but at the same time, you want to resolve it, even in your own heart. And people just don't understand. They'll maybe come at you and say, oh, you're being passive aggressive. Listen, sometimes people that are passive aggressive aren't passive aggressive, but rather they haven't had the courage or the chutzpah or whatever you want to call it, to just courage to come out and just say how they feel. They're so afraid, And the biggie is shame. Oh, let's talk about shame. You know what? Shame is a big one to hold people back on expressing oneself. I could write a song about this, but I wanted to come on here and talk to you about tonight about just how people are growing up and things. Should I just come right out and say it? I might as well, right? What's there to hide? I'm not dead yet. I'm still alive. Is there anyone out there tonight that have siblings that think they're actually better than you? And it's not anything that's my low self-esteem. I have proof in the fruit of abuse. Being the baby of the family, them putting me in a position of a captain, Trust me, I'm no victim here. You guys made me stronger, but you also need to be told now, because I'm actually not dead yet, that you were weak. You guys were weak in my life, okay? The big, brothers of mine, they got all the money, the careers, the ones that worked at NASA, the one that's a blacksmith, the one that's a jeweler, and even my sister. If you come from a family that's just torn apart, which there are many, I'm not a victim. You want to hold on tight to what you have, you want to work hard for it. And I've held on really tight to my children. So tight that I got to kind of let go because of what I came from. So for those of you that think you're above it, or that you've got so much shame that you could never share any experiences, and you just want to bury them in a private place and just get toxic and sicker and sicker and sicker, go right ahead. But I'm not doing it. I'm actually going to come on here and I'm going to tell somebody how I feel. Guess who the somebody is? Me. Because I'm not going to be alive, forever here on this earth. And I'm going to leave some type of a legacy, some type of a way out. I would never forget, not talk about me so much, but why not? It's my turn on earth. This person saw my art. And I'm not a great artist. You guys, I'm a freaking ninth grader. And I can braggily or famously, whatever word you want, say that, when I write, I just want to tell somebody something. When I write, you'll feel a different spirit and different words and things being put together than sometimes how I speak. But I'm just going to go for it and flow tonight on it. And I can just jump off and even sing a song about families and feelings that are really hurting me tonight. My brothers in particular. I'm 66 years old. Long story short, my mom was in a rest home and she had some mental illnesses. And first of all, I saw my mom do some very strange things in my life. Am I like her? No. I'm everything that is not like her. In a way that, she was an addict. She took pills from the hospital. But there was a time in my mother's life where she was a mother. No matter what. We can dislike our parents. We can disrespect them. We can actually use that word that people are so afraid of, hate them. You know why you hate them? Because they weren't what you wanted them to be. So the very people that are telling you to anyway, long story short, let me stay focused here. I want to get it out there that even if you don't like your parents and even if you disrespect them or they were just horrible in growing up, and you've got to, one thing for sure. Can I just tell you? One thing for sure. We have to honor the fact that they took part in creating us. Think about that. Just kind of let it soak in. Be that seed that's just soaking that up and wanting to grow and feel it. Because I felt it. Can we find the good in every situation, every person, and the wise? Do I have to keep it locked up like my siblings? Long story short, back to what I'm saying. My mother passed away. I'm the baby of 5. The baby. The strong, tough one, right? The one that the older people sort of picked on because, they're so well-to-do. They're above all the feelings. And if they want to be atheists, of course, that's up to them too. But here they want to just kind of use me as like their little whooper. She's got a heart. She'll take care of it. She's strong. Why, we're just too busy, we didn't like our mother anyway. As if I really, had a lot of problems with my mother. Do my siblings actually think I was blindfolded growing up? That I don't know what I know? Long story short, they didn't come to her funeral. This is 3 grown men, okay, with wives. But I bet they went to their wives' parents' funeral and they marked and checked every reason why they should. Well, before I'm in the ground or in another planet, you all make me very upset. And I will expose you not being there because it's not respectful, that it's wrong. First of all, when somebody asks you to go to a funeral of a mother's death, I'm the baby. I'm not even the firstborn son. I'm not the secondborn son. I'm not the thirdborn son. And I'm not the first daughter. I'm the baby girl. Well, we'll have Pamela do it all. Well, I did. And I put socks on my dead mother's feet. And I'm tired of holding it in. I got a voice, and I'm going to tell you I'm not a victim. I'm a survivor. And all your weaknesses made me strong. And I forgive you. But I'm going to let you know you're weak. And we go all the way back to that movie I always seem to stream to. And who is it? It's Dorothy running down that hall, scared because behind that curtain's that, man in the movie, The Wizard of Oz, making all those noises till Toto pulls the curtain back. The curtain's pulled back. You're real loud. You're making a lot of noise. And it did work on a little broken vessel that was me. I did do everything. It made me stronger. But for my 3 brothers that weren't there, for my poor mother, because you were too good, I put socks on my mother's feet that was dead, that was rolled out on a gurney because she was cremated. Yeah, these are harsh words. If you're in a family right now, take my advice. Help your siblings. Does it go away? No. Can I forgive? Definitely. Did it make me stronger? Woohoo, woohoo, I'm the winner, I'm the hero. Because I also am here having enough courage to tell you that you disappointed me, that I didn't need you there for my mom, I needed you there for me. How about being some strength? How about having older brothers that actually don't just talk it but walk it? Their fruits are just like dormant. They're just like a tree that's a stump that's cut off that never grows again. Come on now. At least step up and say it was wrong. I've been wrong so many times in my life. It's been a beautiful thing because I'm nothing like my mom. I'm not. They despised her so much for her mental illness, that they couldn't show up at a funeral. They had all this shame. Did you know that when you love somebody that you're there for them? When you love somebody, you're not particular. You don't say, well, let's see. I'm going to go to this person's funeral, and I'm going to support this sibling in this, and I'm just going to have a little clique going on in my own family. Well, your little clique's about to pop because I'm not dead yet. And I don't appreciate family members that are so toxic and so sick that they would put all of the stress on one person. At some point, our mother was a registered nurse. At some point, she did something. And you know what it was? She carried you. You were in her womb. Does that mean anything to you people? Does it not mean something to you to have honor and respect for a parent that took part in creating you? Well, guess what? I'm going to cut you some slack tonight. But know this for sure. That I'm the baby of the family and they put everything in my hands. Am I looking for sympathy? No. Did it make me stronger? It's a story I want to tell. It could almost be a movie. Because like that very day, you know how movies, they'll go in like sections and segments and stuff. And they show the lives really fast in a movie of what's going on in a moment. When one person out of the 5 children is doing it all. Me? Yeah. One person, me. I never forget, they rolled my mother out. My sister was so scared. It was just me and her. She stood at the door. She goes, I can't do it. I go, it looks like it's just me. Were my brothers there for me? Not my mom that they had issues with. For me. What did I do to you? That you couldn't support me? We've got the same blood. All 5 of us have the same mom and dad. Come on now. Give me some excuses. Because there isn't any. I gotta take a sip of tea. So anyway, long story short tonight, I'm coming on here. I want to talk about the joys now. I want to talk about the joy of life, the joy of pain, the joy of learning, the joy of falling down and getting up, and especially the joy of knowing who you are. You can always count on yourself in a storm, can't you? I can count on me. I can have endurance. I can have patience. I can have kindness. And I can have the courage to tell somebody out there that's listening to this tonight, if you have a sibling, for God's sakes, be there for one another and help each other. Because that's what life is. Not just being particular about your family or this person or that person, but actually thinking back to childhood and knowing that there was a bond there. And then it's up to us as individuals to be responsible for that. Who else is going to? You have these family members that are just grudgers, that are just these little children that are adults, that are just hiding and running, and I'm not going to talk to you. Did you know that it would build character if you'd come forth and just stop it? When a person's mother dies, you just are like, you're there. You're there no matter what. It's an act of kindness, an act of love. It's an act of a character and a soul of who you possess and who you are. It's your signature. You left it. I'm not going to sign it. I'm going to give you back the envelope, and it's yours. I was there. I did what I could. I'm no hero. But I'm here today to tell you I love my brothers, and I needed you. You reap, you sow. You plant, you gain, you grow. At least say you're sorry. Can you do that much? Are you just like this dust that's just like blowing around somewhere and landing in a field? I'm going to have a heart of compassion. I'm going to feel. I'm going to be able to create. I disrespect my brothers for that. Do I love them? Of course I do. But there comes a time in our lives when we're actually, without a doubt, there for one another. So it's Pamela coming on here tonight, explaining how I feel about my siblings, coming from a family that's torn apart, when there's no excuses. There's no excuse. I'm not perfect. You're not perfect. Families aren't perfect. But at some point, we try, whether we're atheists, whether we're Jews, whether we're Gentiles, we try. And here's what I want to leave tonight. Try. Try to love one another. And you know what? If you're tolerant with some that you choose, but not tolerant with all, then it's you. It's you that can't seem to give of yourself. So, the cup's full tonight. I'm spreading some love and forgiveness to my brothers that didn't show up for their mother's funeral. And they chose the baby of the family, me, to do it all. I'm going to give you a toast tonight for making me stronger. I'm going to give you a toast tonight for saying, yeah, you guys were schlemiels. Real schlemiels. And if you know that word, it ought to be attached to them in that moment. I forgive you, It was a hard day. Like I said, I want to go back to the segments of the movie when they make a movie and they just squinch it into one. If you could go back and look at all three of them, what they were doing that day, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe behind a tree they had a tear. Maybe in their heart it kind of double thumped. I don't know. All I know is today, you weren't very nice because I needed you. But now I got me. I've always had me. Sad part about it is I didn't know it. I look at myself as a really strong person, a survivor. A lot of people have a big voice, but no fruit. A lot of people have a lot of action. They're like carrying around this huge gun with no ammo. Oh, it's never good to fight. It's always good to have peace. So today I love my family and I accept the brokenness. I accept the dysfunctional personalities and siblings. I accept you. You know why? I accept me. I'm going to remember the good. I'm going to remember my brother Brian stealing a blue bike and bringing it home to me. Or sewing an eye on a stuffed animal. Or my brother's uniform that smelled so fresh in San Diego. At Camp Pendleton by the ocean. I'm going to remember you. My brother Scott, he was always distant. He was kind of rough though. He held me down a few times. I'm going to remember my sister Paula, who can sew really well, that's rejected and hurt because she wore glasses so young. And tell her I love her too. And if this YouTube touches you, this video this evening, reach out to your siblings. Encourage somebody to love one another that's in a family. Because it's hard to be broken. And it's hard to have family members be dysfunctional. It's Pamela saying peace. God bless you. And do the best you can with your brothers and sisters, will you? Once you were little children and you really loved one another.